Hey, welcome to Geek Speak. So I'm Trace,
I'm Rob.
and what do you want to talk about today, brother?
So, a couple movie trailers come out that's new to this month is
Hmm.
Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts. Have you
Yes,
seen them?
yes, I saw both of those, and I hope the movies do well. Hope
Right.
they're well written. Uh, every Marvel movie since Endgame,
Yeah.
I haven't been very impressed with, but I always got hope that it'd be good. I'm a Fantastic Four fan.
Right. Well,
And I actually read the Thunderbolts comic back in the day, so as long as they're written good,
I've
I'll be happy.
I've not been impressed by past Fantastic Four movies.
Oh no,
This
right?
one looks good because it looks like it's set in a different time era.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
like but I think they're almost supposed to be in a different multiverse, like they've been moved to a different Earth than they're used to. I don't know. It's kind of convoluted. But anyway, I have hopes for it, but I'm not expecting, you know.
Pedro Pascal would have been my first choice for Reed Richards. The Silver Surfer is going to be female, so
Okay.
I'm getting some maybe bad omens.
Well, maybe it's an alternate world.
Yeah, but
But
still,
anyway,
don't make
Thunderbolts
Silver
though.
Surfer
Thunderbolts. I
female.
don't know why.
Yeah,
I love the Russian
yeah, yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think it's actually going to be pretty good.
I hope it is.
It's kind of like Avengers without being Avengers.
It's
It's like,
it's it's like Marvel's Suicide Squad.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, what's like. Okay, so you and I play Dungeons and Dragons, and we're huge Dungeons and Dragons fans.
Right.
And so, give you some D&D news. Netflix is going to make a Dungeons and Dragons television series,
Okay.
and so it's going to be written by Sean Levy, who's done quite a few things in the past. Probably the thing you're most familiar with would have been the Deadpool Wolverine movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so I got high hopes for it. It's set in Forgotten Realms, which Forgotten Realms is like the most popular campaign setting for Dungeons and Dragons. It's been around forever. Ed Greenwood created it, and so the fan favorite character Dritz Do'Urden, he's from that. He's from
Okay.
that world, and so hopefully it'll be good. I got high hopes for it, and I really love the last Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Right. Oh no, it was awesome.
And so I would really like a sequel to that. But if this series is done well, I think it'll be popular.
Yeah, that Dungeons and Dragons movie is probably the last movie I actually give a 10 to.
Yeah, I agree. So what else you want to talk
So
about?
I'm always keeping my eyes on new things that's coming out. As far as I like the geek part of the world is like statues, toys,
Yeah,
figurines.
yeah.
So Sideshow, you can pre-order now. They've released 3 that I think is pretty cool. First of all is a new Pep Boy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It has like 45 different screens,
Oh
Bluetooth
really?
capability. It has
So
an actual
Sideshow, I thought
working.
they just made figures, but now they're making props.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's based after the television show.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's supposed to be like screen accurate and everything. And
Yeah,
badass.
that's cool.
It's a badass looking prop. Uh, they're, I'm a fan of Constantine. We even did an episode.
Yes, yes.
So they're coming out with a Constantine figurine.
Oh yeah, is he based on the movie or the
Comic book.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And it looks, the detail, all the adding the extra stuff.
Sideshow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is it 1/6? Is it 12 inches?
Yes.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
All right.
So you're probably
That one probably, I don't know. I have to look. It might be 20.
yeah, yeah.
But anyway, the one I know that you'd be interested in, which I have a picture, but I don't know if we can show it here.
Yeah.
Because on the site you have to show that you're 18.
Yeah.
They're coming out with a Betty Page statue.
I saw that.
Oh,
statue.
did you?
Yeah, yeah. It looked good.
Yeah, I
it
figured
looked
you'd
good.
like that.
Yeah, I'm a big Betty Page fan. For those that don't know who Betty Page is, shame on you.
Well, you're an old geek.
But I mean, Betty Page was like the most beautiful woman God ever created, besides my wife. But no, I mean, she was a pinup star back in the 50s, and if you don't know anything about Betty Page, you should look her up. So, more Dungeons and Dragons news.
Okay.
So, Dungeons and Dragons or Hasbro, who owns Dungeons and Dragons, they've come out with a new monster manual and a new Dungeon Master's Guide and a new player's handbook, and they have to do that every so many years so
Right.
that they can revamp the rules. Basically, they're doing it to sell their customers books.
Right.
They don't want you using the same book over and over. And they're really leaning toward digital because they really don't even want you to have a book. But orcs is not in the new monster manual because they consider that racist to have orcs in the monster manual. So they're being moved to, like, I don't know if they're going to move them to the player
Oh, so
handbook.
orcs are considered a race, not a monster.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So they
All
had
right.
they had issues with making, but I mean, Hasbro has made so many.
I mean, where's the line drawn?
Well, I mean, it's okay. First of all, it's fantasy. There are
right.
there are no orcs in the real world.
True.
You're not going to have a group of orcs that, I feel like.
But is it things that stand on two legs or a race?
Well, they did take drow out of the monster manual, which they've been in the player's handbook for a while, but they were also in the monster manual. But I mean, it's like they have an issue with any evil race, any evil humanoid race, I guess. But what they're doing is taking today's politics, which is constantly changing, and they're trying to inject that into a fantasy game. In a fantasy game, you can have a race of people that are all evil.
Right.
That's okay. It's a fantasy game. It's no big deal. But anyway, but Hasbro's been screwing up, one screw up after another. Their stockholders are actually got a class action suit against Hasbro because they've made so many bad decisions and the stock has dropped. If you bought $10,000 worth of stock in January of last year, that $10,000 worth of stock today would be worth $6,000.
Oh, wow.
So that's why they're just a wee bit
Hasbro's
upset.
burning a lot of bridges.
Yeah, okay. What else you want to talk about?
Okay, I've never watched it, but I know it has a big geek following. They're coming out with a new Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
And actually getting Sarah Michelle Gellar, is that
Yeah,
right?
that's it. You got it.
So apparently she never wanted to go back and do a second one, but somehow they've got her to do it. It's coming out on Hulu. Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, it had a big following. There was a big Buffy fans.
Yeah, and I never watched it, and I would like to watch it at some point. My wife's into horror stuff, Teresa, and it may be something I could tolerate. We're going back and watching Charmed now.
Oh, okay.
So whenever we finish that, we may watch Buffy. But for some reason, I never watched Buffy. But I mean, as long as they bring it back, I know it had a huge following. As long as they bring it back, people are happy. I'm cool with it. So, so I had an idea the other day. It lasted for a little while, and then I squashed it. So I'll let you know why I had the idea and what happened to make me squash it.
Okay.
So, my daughter Eve, she teaches 4th grade school, elementary school.
Okay.
So I asked her how many 4th graders she had, and she said a tad bit less than 100. She didn't have an exact number.
Right.
So I was thinking about going to like one of the local comic book stores and going through the back issue bins and then getting buying 100 comics, age appropriate comics.
Okay.
And so taking them to the school and letting her pass them out to all the 4th graders. It's winter time here in Kentucky. That would, give them something to do since they can't get outside because it's so cold.
Right.
Give them something to read, which is a good thing. It increased our vocabulary, and we read comics when we wouldn't read other things as kids.
Right.
And then it might lure them into a comic book shop, which would help your local comic book shop. So I thought that was a good idea.
It's not
I
a bad
run it by
idea.
her, and she said, yeah. She said, I'll get you an exact number of 4th graders. Well, then DC this last little bit since the beginning of the year, they come out. First of all, they come out with a comic called Secret Six. And so it's a team, and one of them in there is a guy that likes to dress up like a girl.
Okay.
And he's fantasizing or visualizing his bottom surgery inside the comic. So that's not appropriate for kids in my mind.
All right.
So then they had come out with a Shazam comic, and so they've got John Kent, young Superman's son, who's gay, and he's got his boyfriend with him. Well, his boyfriend gets transformed into a 9-year-old, and so but they're still boyfriend, even though he's 9 years old. Got the body of a 9-year-old, and so it's like how can I put pedophilia inside a comic without getting in trouble? And so we'll say the guy's an adult, but he just has the body of a 9-year-old.
Right.
So I don't.
I think they do that a lot in anime.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to. Number one, if I bought 100 comics, I'd have to go through each one of those comics.
No.
To make sure they were okay.
You buy 125. You donate them to the library and make the librarian responsible for going through
Well, I
and
wouldn't.
deciding what's
I decided
appropriate.
not to do it because not only that, I don't want to. I'll be honest with you. I don't want to lure young kids to a local comic book store where they may come across some of this modern crap that's being put out. In my opinion.
You're trying to make a decision for a bunch of kids based on your morals and your beliefs, and that's great. You're trying to protect children. Yeah. They're going to see it. They're going to feel it. They're going to hear it 1,000 blue billion places. Do not allow what you feel to be a good action.
Yeah.
To be hampered by your fears of what somebody else is going to say or do.
Yeah, well, you're true. There's no way to shelter children completely. They're going to experience things at some point, but they're not going to experience it from this guy.
I had a little. Well, it's not like you're sitting there saying, "Be this, do that."
I'm not even going to expose them to it. That's not me. You know, your decisions are yours, but mine's mine.
When we were younger, we used to get on our bikes and we would ride 10 freaking miles without any supervision whatsoever.
True.
Right?
Right.
We've got to a point in this world to where we're going to put our children in a basement and we're not going to allow them to look and see anything because of the fears of what they might learn. The things we teach them as parents, as role models, as guardians, can be just as skewed as what they're going to run into in the real world as well.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah, no,
It's okay. You'll be all right.
Yeah, I know I'll be all right. I'm not. There's no moral dilemma here. You know, I come up with an idea, I give it some thought, and I made a decision on it.
Okay. Well, now you got me wanting to go buy 150 comic books and give it to the school.
You can do it. You can do that. All right. So you got anything else?
Because if Uncle Steve hadn't have gave us that pile of comic books, would we be the geeks we are now?
No, but I'm glad there wasn't bottom surgery or gay sex.
No, but I'm sure there was blood, murder, and killing in it.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Sugar. Alrighty.
All right, so you got anything else?
I'm done. Poke me with a fork.
Okay.
I'm done.
I think we're done. Hope you're educated. Oh, wait a minute. My comic book recommendation.
Oh, snap.
So, so the aforementioned Dungeons and Dragons we were talking about, there's a group of comics put out based on some books R.A. Salvatore wrote. And they're about Dritz Do'Urden. And they follow like his first trilogy. And so there's an entire limited series called Crystal Shard. Then there's an entire limited series called Streams of Silver. And there's another entire series called Halfling's Gem. And it's a one complete story. And these are fantastically written because they're based on R.A. Salvatore work. Plus they're drawn by Tim Seeley, who we did the Hack and Slash video last month. And so they're drawn by him. So they're very, very good. It's a great story.
Nice.
And so that's my comic book recommendation. Check them out. And they're for all ages. Anybody can read them. Okay, you done?
I'm done.
All right, we're done. Excellent.